prayer list, the top one, the number one name.
Now you remember how Donald Trump, he can't stand Judge Chukin, I think her name is. Chukin. I always say her name wrong. He can't stand her. Chukin. Oh. He can't stand her. Now, this is the one I told you. We talked about her. She's from Jamaica and all the other things. Remember that? And she's not afraid of him. She stands up to him. She put the gag order on him and said that he shouldn't talk about anybody. He didn't care about that. He's still talking. Well, another case has come up. He's got another one. I ran out of how many so far.
Lord have mercy.
And you know, they don't choose, the judges don't ask to be on cases. They are assigned
on it. Yeah.
And it's and they don't even look at it's almost like they draw the name out of the hat. Her name was drawn out of the hat again for the new case that he has. So now he has two cases with her that she's presiding over.
So another judge could have been called up.
Another judge.
Oh, and everybody that's coming after him is black.
Well, this case it says,
including the man too.
It says U.S. District Judge Tanya Chukin has been assigned to oversee a second court case involving former President Donald Trump. Chukin, who is presiding over Trump's federal criminal trial on felony charges related to his 2020 election, was earlier this month assigned to take on, this is the new one, a civil case alleging that Trump attempted to overturn President Joe Biden's 2020 victory in Michigan.
What?
By disenfranchising black voters.
What happened in Michigan?
The court document obtained by Newsweek on Tuesday shows that Chukin, an appointee of former President Barack Obama, Barack lives in his head. That's probably why, because it's like, was given the case by direction of the Calendar Committee. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not them. Taking over for Biden appointee Judge Anna Reyes, her colleague in the U.S. District Court for Columbia. The lawsuit is brought by the NAACP and the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization. It accuses Trump, I was going to say comb over. It accuses Trump, his campaign, and the Republican National Committee of committing civil rights violations through targeted harassment, intimidation, and efforts to prevent the complete counting and certification of valid ballots. Same thing in Michigan that they did in Georgia.
In Michigan, my goodness.
The plaintiffs and their constituents have suffered dignitary injuries by having their full citizenship undermined and by the defendants' perpetuation of the something. Girl, they reading all this stuff. The black populations are more likely to be fraudulent. In other words, he was talking about black people being fraudulent, just like he did in Georgia, when he said those two black women were could be crack dealers or something.
They tampering with the votes. They probably cheating and doing things.
But why is it always the black people?
Right.
So that's what the NAACP.
If there's any disputes of anything,
the mother was just passed from the daughter of Mint.
Yeah.
Isn't this something? This is in Michigan.
Assume that black people are criminals.
Yeah.
So he's easy to say it because more people would believe it than say anybody else.
The NAACP is part of the group that's bringing this against him. So all those people his mega people that always try to run to his rescue to help and threaten folks, what they gonna do now? Threaten the NAACP of Michigan?
This case was brought last year. And they've been fighting in court this whole time. It said his legal team wanted to get the case dismissed, but they just ruled that was unsuccessful and it can go to trial. So now he has a new one. They'll probably start talking about it on CNN and stuff, but it's so many of them, people probably just lost track of how many it is now.
Yeah, they stopped feeding into it.
So this man who has talked about this judge like a dog has questioned her mental capacity, has pretty much
threatened her, didn't they?
Threatened her. All of this stuff now has to preside over 2 cases for him.
Because it makes me upset when people are trying to do their jobs because he underhandedly did things and did some criminal acts. Mega fans and knuckleheads who feel like they're going to take the law in their own hands and threaten her. She can't run where she normally jogs.
Right. This is what he said.
Any case that is brought up, like what you're saying in Michigan, he's probably going to try to threaten the people that's bringing it against him.
It said Trump compared himself to the crime mob boss Al Capone while speaking about the gag order that Chuck had put on him. He claimed that she dedicated her life of not liking him and vowing to put him in jail. Her whole life is not liking me. That's what he said.
I didn't like you when
her
you were
whole life.
The Apprentice.
So you mean to tell me when she was a 5-year-old girl having some ice cream outside, all she was thinking about was coming after him?
I never liked the Trump name. The
her
Apprentice,
whole life.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Why does he talk like that?
I don't know.
His house is worth billions of dollars. He's the best in the world. He's the most handsome. Everybody loves him. Her whole life, everything is big and extreme and loud. Can't stand that man.
That's a narcissist move.
You know what a gag order is? You can't speak badly about your opponent. That's what he said. He don't even know what a gag order is. That's not what the gag order said. You can speak badly about them, but you can't talk about the case.
Thank you.
But he's such a comb over, he doesn't get it.
That's his case, though. That's who he's talking about.
No, that he's speaking to dummies who will
and
believe
he's saying Joe Biden did it to him. So Joe Biden has to deal with Ukraine, Israel, and now his whole life is dependent on Trump. He's such a moron.
All right.
So anyway, it says her gag order did not ban Trump from criticizing Biden. She's in the thing. He can talk about Biden all day long. He has nothing to do with the case. So again, let's keep an eye out on this case. It's from the NAACP. I'm sure they'll start talking about it.
I wonder if there are other states that they did.
This was Michigan. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
Wow.
So add that to Michigan, and then you got him.
And NAACP is coming against him with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
The other big news today. Let me see this. Is that
Mama
Emerald?
gave you this one, right?
Emerald says, hello.